I don't know if you can see this, but already, now Oban's coat is already starting to change.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see, I'll just catch this here, I mean, he's shedding every single movement that he makes. So what tends to happen is, if we don't groom him, there's hair that goes all over the place. And this is the product we use. Now, tell us, I mean, tell us how this first came about, Martin.
Well, OK, well, it's been designed, actually, with two purposes, you know, one to groom the dog without distressing it and the cat, but secondly, it's been designed with an edge.
Yes.
It's also really what groomers use every day, you see. It's been designed with an edge, it'll never damage the coat, it only removes the dead hair from a dog or cat's undercoat. So,
right, okay.
you know, in first impressions, people look at that and they think, well, I'm used to soft brushes, I'm used to spiky brushes, big brushes, and they think for a big dog like Oban, it's too small, but that's the secret behind it, you see. So it's not trying to do too much every time you do the dog, or the cat.
So, now, obviously, I mean, Oban, obviously, he goes through various different periods. He has two coats going at one time, so he's shedding right the way throughout the year. Why groom? I mean, is this just for dogs like Oban?
No, God, no. I mean, it's for long-haired or short-haired. I mean, Oban's a great example, you know, because he wasn't built for this weather. You know, he's built for the snow and the cold weather. So today it's very warm in here. You know, the coat loosens up. Then we've got central heating at home. So for dogs and cats, you know, what this will basically do is it just maintains the coat and it makes them more comfortable. That's the bottom line with it. You know, it makes them more comfortable. So to explain, the big teeth's a grooming tool. That's great for Oban, any dog with a long or short coat, cat as well. And then you flip it round, and that's the special deshedding tool there. So, shall I?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Right.
Come on, Oban.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Would you like him stood up? Would you like him lying down?
We'll just take him as he comes, you see. So what we always do, we always go 4 or 5 strokes with the big teeth.
He's a bit excitable. Should we get him to lie down?
Go on.
Oban down. Come on. There we go.
Good dog. So we always give the dogs and cats 4 or 5 strokes with the big teeth. And I always stress this, it's very soft in the skin. That's why dogs enjoy it first time round. Cats, it doesn't break the skin. But what this will do is it loosens up the undercoat. Also, dogs can run about in muddy puddles, cats get outdoors and they get wet and muddy and matted. So at the same time, it demats the coat. But you'll see the difference here. It's hardly removed any hair from the coat, it's groomed the coat. So what we do, you flip it round and you finish with the deshedding tool. Now, just to stress this, it's completely blunt, you see. It's been designed with an edge that will never damage or break the top coat.
Here we go, look at this.
That's the stuff.
Whoa! Snowstorm, anyone?
Yeah, exactly.
Goodness gracious.
Now, that's what sits in the carpet, the clothes, it sits in the back of our car daily and it drives us mad. That's the easiest way to say it. So by doing this regularly for your dog or your cat, this will reduce shedding by up to 90%, you see.
Now, is there a case where we can over-groom a pet? When do we know when we've done enough?
Well, yeah, a lot of people do ask that, to be honest. The very first time you do it, it's going to look good, you know, especially at this time of year. You know, the coats are changing round, they're getting the winter coats coming on as well. But what I always find when I'm talking to people at shows, I always say, if you do it 2 or 3 times heavily, you know, you'll get most of the dead hair out the coat. I've got a dog at home, couldn't come with me today, but I do it once a week, that's all. It's not really an everyday thing. The hardest thing to say, the easiest thing to say is regularly.
Yes, no, absolutely. Now, you've got huskies, haven't you?
Yeah, 2 huskies, yeah.
Right, OK, so it's very, very similar kind of coat to
exactly,
this,
thick coats.
So we're talking about basically making your dog's coat healthier. We're also talking about making your environment healthier as well. You know, I mean, if you're someone who's constantly getting the vacuum cleaner out, or you're someone who's maybe bought a vacuum cleaner just to deal with the pet hair, this is going to make it that much easier. I mean, for example, whenever we take Oban away and he's maybe in the back seat, it's all interior. Hey, come on. There's always a lot of white hair that's kind of left behind. So, you know,
leaves his mark.
Absolutely does. Come on, down. He's all excitable, you see. He wants to go and play with Flint. But there we go, you can see. Good boy, Oban. It's also almost his dinner time as well. But you can already start to see, the one thing that I find amazing, whenever we've used to groom it with Oban, it almost looks as though he's lost weight after we've...
that's what sometimes, especially long coat dogs as well, because the coat lies flatter, you see, so you don't realise, you're like, oh, my dog's putting on weight. You know, collies are very common with that as well. So when you start to brush all the dead hair off, and they look a bit skinnier, you know. They look a bit skinnier, they look better for it as well. A good point as well, that for any dog or cat, when you brush all the dead and the dull hair out the coat, it's always going to be shiny, it's always going to be healthier looking. Lovely for them as well, less scratching, less itching, you see. And sometimes you see a dog scratching around the back of their ears, they're nibbling away at the back end, and that's what they're trying to get out. They're trying to get the dead hair out the coat. So that's a little tool.
Is there anywhere that we shouldn't use this on the dog?
No, anywhere at all. I always stress that, that's completely blunt, you see. If I put that down there, you just cannot cut anything with it. So yeah, you can use it around the awkward areas like we always talk about, the back of the back of the legs, the top of their tails. Give you a lovely example. We do a lot of gun dog shows, shooting shows where our brush is fairly well known now. We're sold in there for 5 years. And I see a lot of spaniels. So What you'll find with spaniels is round their ears will get clogged up with the grass seeds. So any long coat, like Flint's going to have a very long coat one day, you know, curly, hard to brush dog. And so you get the seeds and the buds in their ears. So that's why it's nice to have the grooming tool.
I think it's also a great opportunity for you to bond with your animal as well, isn't it? It's time together, isn't it? You know, traditionally walking, you know, chasing a ball and that kind of thing. But this is something that we generally do at the end of the day. And usually that's when Oben's, you know, he's had his walk, he's had his dinner. And that's where he's really quite relaxed. And straight away, now obviously what's interesting is you've done this, he's obviously remembered that experience.
Exactly,
And it's a relaxed, it's all right, okay.
Well, a good example as well is Flint's only 12 weeks old. So the first thing we're always taught with dogs and cats is we want to get them used to things, you know, get them trained, get them used to brushes, get them used to getting bathed. A lot of brushes we buy them, always go back to this, are very sharp. So I always say for a dog, this is like a massage. You know, we've been out working the whole day. A massage wouldn't go amiss at times, you know, you sit down, you relax.
And I imagine that's what the sensation is like for them. It's a massaging sensation.
Stimulates them, gets all the oils running through into the coat. Also for cats get groomed more than dogs, you know, on a day-to-day basis as well. And if you can groom your dog or your cat's coat regularly, stops them matting up, stops them getting distressed, stops the skin getting tugged and pulled. And cats especially, if you can do it regularly, it stops fur balls. You know, and I say stop, it will reduce it to the point where you don't see them anymore, you know, because they're not trying to swallow this hair in terms
well,
of
look at this. I mean,
you've
been talking, demonstrating. You can see. I mean, if we missed just a day of using this with Oben, I mean, it literally looks as though, you know, a pigeon's exploded in the house. So a lot of people watching will have cats and dogs. Can you buy the same? You can use the same one.
Well, yeah, it's a general grooming tool. I mean, we speak to people that use them in horses. People use them in rabbits, long-haired guinea pigs. I've been brushing ferrets some days. It shows why. I mean, you'd be surprised at what people use this for, because what it will do to any dog, any cat, any horse is only remove the dead hair, the stuff they want out the coat, you see. Now, we can go into shops all over the country, we can buy lots of different brushes, and there's too many teeth on them, so they tug and they pull, they yank out the natural coat. Always stress this, that's just the unnatural coat. So for any dog, like I was saying, cats, if you remove the unnatural coat, that's what they swallow. For dogs, they'll look better, they'll feel better, and we enjoy it because there's less hair floating at the carpet.
Oh, here we go, he's into it
now.
You're into it now, aren't you?
You're a star.
All excited earlier.
And I always think as well, I always say this, you know, we've been selling these for many, many years. For anybody who's bought brushes for dogs and cats before, we sell this with a full money-back guarantee. That's by ourselves, and they are guaranteed for life, you see, so there's nothing to lose.
And of course, you've got your 14-day money-back guarantee that you get from us here at Ideal World as well. So get this home and give it a try. I think it's a lovely thing to do, you know. I mean, we all love our dogs, we all stroke our dogs, we spend time with them, but this really is a nice bonding moment for you to be able to enjoy.